The 360, PS3 and the Wii. So obviously new design, looks sexier, obviously nice Gibson shape, but one thing you'll see with this guitar is that we keep the core essence of the Guitar Hero franchise and what this installed base of 4 million plus with our guitars has become used to. So the fretboard, strum bar and the whammy bar are positioned like they have been on our other guitars. Nevertheless, there has been some improvements we've made in this area. As you can see, the fretboard is now more sexy looking. It's not like a Fisher-Price toy anymore. And also on the fretboard, you'll find that the buttons themselves have been improved, so they're not spongy as they were on previous models. The strum bar itself, again, pretty much the same, slightly longer than on the previous models, but the digital contacts inside again have been improved, so you just get that better feeling when you're strumming down there. Other little subtle areas that we've changed on some other guitars that we've seen, the natural position, we're playing like this, so having buttons in this area and this area we found wasn't good. You could hit the start button and basically pause the game and stuff like this. It's really something that we kind of had to get away from. So you'll see that the actual button here that you can actually manually use for star power, that's in a great place there. But then there's a cage that kind of circles the button here, so you don't, on this guitar, accidentally hit that pause button in the middle of one of your great plays. So just tiny little things that some people don't notice, but they're there, and it's really been thought out well. Other things you'll find with this guitar is that we really wanted to make this thing sturdy. I mean, our last guitars, were sturdy, and they really did stand the test of time. But this guitar now, as you'll see when you feel it, is very robust. It's heavier than the last guitars, and things like neck twisting now, there's just not any flex there anymore compared to the other guitars. So another area is the build quality of this guitar is a lot better than it was before. Sorry, I'm just gonna take a drink. Okay, another area that we're going to go into now is the customization of the guitar. So one of the first things you'll see is that the neck detaches down. So of course you can put it in a back sack, cycle over to your friend's house, without it sticking out the top of your back sack. It's easier to store, and it also gives us some other, future possibilities as well. Then, as you can see here, customizable faceplates. I said on our other guitars you saw some third-party sticker sets that came in these kind of sticker things, and they were kind of okay, but they were kind of cheap looking. What we're going to see now in the marketplace at various retailers is that you'd be able to put some really high quality imagery on these faceplates, and you can really start to customize. The consumers out there can pick from a whole bunch of designs and really start to make that guitar more of their own personality and not just the red SG or the black SG as we've seen before. So that's a big win. I think it's it's a pretty kind of sexy addition to this guitar. It's integral, so it kind of matches pretty well. I think the last area I've got to go into is the tech side of things. It's been quite a big project really, coming out with four guitars that all run on wireless technology, all on the same day here, and a couple of weeks later in Europe. So we've got big builds going on, and one thing that we heard last year was that why aren't these guitars wireless? We want wireless, but one thing that's important to us was to make these guitars work real well in wireless, and wireless technology is not as simple as the wire, and we had to embrace our first party guys at Microsoft, Sony and Nintendo to get this done and get it done right. So the Les Paul 360 wireless is the first third-party wireless accessory full stop on the marketplace. Again, very hard to do. It's right. But again, we've worked very well with Microsoft, and you know, this thing will be out on the release date, and I think you'll find that it operates very, very well, and it's very similar to the existing Microsoft radio that they have in their current wireless guitar. The Wii, again, this is quite interesting as well. Again, the same Guitar Hero, you know, the basics, you know, the fret bar, the strum, sorry, the fretboard, the strum, everything's the same. So you still get that same Guitar Hero experience, but we integrate this into the guitar, the Wii remote, and basically we pick up Nintendo's Bluetooth radio, so we connect with that, and then we also use the accelerometer that's inside the Wiimote for your star power. Other little things that we pick up on as well is the rumble feature. When you come up to star power, the Wiimote rumbles, so it gives you a little jolt to get you up there. And also when you miss a note, the sound comes out of the Wiimote as well to give that little ping. So yeah, we pretty much got the most out of the Wiimote as we can get for now. And you know, as we go forward with other things, you know, we kind of look to use it even more. But again, keeps the essence there, you know, with the rest of them. PS3, which you'll see in the room over there. Again, pretty much the same essence, and again, you know, works very much like the existing controller you get with a PS3. One thing, sorry, no, I'm doing. One other thing that you probably won't be aware of within the guitars, especially the PS3 and the 360, is that on our next generation guitars, we're no longer using rollable switches for star power, which on our first SG guitar and the third-party guitars you see out in the marketplace, just basically a tiny little rollable switch, up, down, and it just detects, you know, where you are. On our 360 and our PS3, and obviously by default within the Wii, our guitars now have an accelerometer on board on the board here. So yes, for GH3 we use an accelerometer for star power, but it also gives us for the future possible other areas of implementing such technology. It's important for us to build that in at this stage because we don't really want to be, you know, doing it again and then making people buy other guitars that have accelerometers versus old rollable switches. So again, you know, we're trying to look out on these guitars as far out as we possibly can because we know it's a big investment, you know, for consumers to spend anything between 80 and 100 bucks, you know, for a bundle. That's a lot of money. So we're trying to build these guitars sturdy and with, you know, a lot of future in them. So we're not changing up guitars, you know, on a yearly basis, you know, just to get people into a new guitar, you know, through features. We'll do that through, you know, we will introduce more guitars, but then that'll be, you know, a bit more shape and, you know, that kind of stuff. So anyway, I think that's pretty much it from me. I said I've bored myself there. So.
Actually, well, Lee's too modest to say this, but I will say this. I think this is the best video game peripheral that's ever been made. I think it's the best video game controller. Not on PS3, not on 360, not on PS2, but the best video game controller that's ever been made. If you looked at all the great controllers, I think Logitech did a fantastic special edition Momo steering wheel. They did a Gran Turismo steering wheel. Great products. Capcom did a great Steel Battalion controller. Fantastic product. None of them were as ambitious as this. This was all platforms, worldwide, all wireless. Nobody's ever attempted anything like that. I think when you get a chance to play with it today, you'll see that, you know, customizable product for consumers. This is probably the best video game controller that's ever been made, that's ever shipped on any platform at any time in the history of this industry. And I think the other thing I'd like to also press on you guys, that when you take a look at this software today, if you haven't seen it, this is easily the best Guitar Hero game that's ever been made. If you look at the soundtrack, best soundtrack, you look at the the gameplay features, everything Guitar Hero 2 has, plus online play, plus battle mode. If you look at the graphics, you know, the fact this is the best looking game, Guitar Hero the series, the fact that this has you know, Slash and Tom Morello, all playable characters. The guys at Neversoft, they made the best Guitar Hero game that's ever been, that we've ever done. So hopefully all of you will get a chance to see that. You may have seen it before, but you'll see the hardware and the software. I think this is by far the best hardware and the best software product we've ever made. So thanks everybody for coming this afternoon.
Oh,